Eleanor never asked for Blackwood Manor. It came to her through a distant aunt, a forgotten relative. The solicitor's letter was crisp, formal. It spoke of sprawling grounds and a house of some local note. She drove there on a Tuesday. The sky was the colour of old bruises. The gates were iron, twisted like arthritic fingers. They groaned a rusty welcome, or perhaps a warning. The manor itself loomed, dark stone, too many windows like vacant eyes staring. Ivy crawled up its sides, a hungry green parasite. It felt old, ancient, and terribly alone. She pushed open the massive oak door. It protested with a shriek. Inside, the air was cold, colder than the autumn day outside. Dust motes danced in the thin shafts of light. They seemed to mock her intrusion. Silence pressed in, a heavy, suffocating blanket. Yet it was not an empty silence. It felt expectant, waiting. She walked through cavernous rooms, furniture draped in white sheets like rows of patient ghosts. Portraits on the walls, their painted eyes following her. She felt a prickle on her skin, a sense of being an unwelcome guest in a place that had long made its own company. Her first night was a symphony of unease. The old house sighed. It creaked. The wind, she told herself, just the wind. But the sounds were too deliberate. Floorboards groaned upstairs, though she was alone. A faint scraping, like fingernails on wood, shadows in the corners of her eyes. They danced and writhed when she turned to look. Sleep was a distant shore. She lay in the massive four-poster bed. The sheets felt cold like a shroud. Each creak of the house was a footstep, each sigh of the wind a breath held too close to her ear. Then came the whispers, so faint at first she thought it was the rustling of leaves or mice in the walls, but they were there, just beyond hearing. Murmurs and sighs, formless, shapeless, yet undeniably present. They seemed to coil in the dark spaces, to emanate from the very walls themselves. Eleanor felt a profound sense of being watched, not by eyes, but by the house. Blackwood Manor was aware of her. It was listening, and it was beginning to speak, a language of shadows and fear. David loved the late-night hours. The city slept. He was alone with the microphone, his voice a smooth balm for the insomniacs, the lonely, the lost. Midnight Melodies was his show, his sanctuary. The studio was small, comfortably dim, the glow of the console his only companion. He chose his records with care. Old jazz, blues, songs that spoke of longing and quiet despair.